It is the winter of 1943. A woman in Hamburg walks to the end of her street and drops a single letter into a postbox. On the envelope, there is a name, her son's name, but no city, no street, no country, just a name and a 5-digit number. Somewhere past the edge of the map is an army of nearly 8 million men. Her son is one of them. He has no fixed address. He is moving in secret across a front 2,000 miles long. And yet, 18 days later, in a frozen trench he was forbidden to name, he opens her letter. No town, no street, 8 million men, and one small letter. How did it ever find him? To see how strange this is, forget the war for a moment. Think about how an ordinary letter actually works. You write a country, a city, a street, a house, layers of location, from the widest down to one front door. Each layer narrows the search until only one mailbox on Earth is left. An address is really just a funnel. But an army shatters that funnel completely. A soldier has no street. His address is a hole in the ground that did not exist last week and may be gone tomorrow. And there is a second problem, a far deadlier one. If you wrote the true location on the envelope, you would be mailing the enemy a map. So the field post had to solve two impossible things at once. Find a man with no address without ever writing down where he is. Their answer was beautifully simple. They deleted the geography entirely. Every unit in the army, every company, every gun battery, every supply column was handed a number. Not a rank, not a place, just a code, 5 digits long, sometimes with a single letter on the end. That number was the soldier's entire address, his name, his number, and the word field post, nothing else. To a spy who stole the letter, that number said nothing. It could be a tank division in Russia or a bakery in France. The location had not been hidden, it had been replaced. But a number is only useful if someone, somewhere, knows what it means. And someone did. In a set of guarded offices sat the master key, a directory matching every number to a real unit, and every unit to where its mail should go. Page after page of 5-digit numbers, each pointing in secret to a battalion, a field hospital, a single gun crew. This book was classified, guarded, stamped secret in hard red ink, because whoever held it held the location of an entire army, written down in one place. It was, in the most literal sense, the most dangerous address book in the world. So follow the mother's letter. It leaves the Hamburg postbox as ordinary mail, but the instant a clerk sees that number, it stops being ordinary. It is pulled from the civilian stream and handed to the field post. It travels to a directing office, a great sorting hall, where letters are grouped not by city, but by number. The directory whispers the answer. This number rides east. And the letter joins a mountain of mail bound for the front. Onto a train, then a truck, then, for the last stretch, whatever will move, a motorcycle, a cart, a runner on foot. It reaches a field post office, traveling with the army itself, which peels off the letters for each number and sends them down the line, until a mud-caked clerk in a dugout reads the name aloud, and a man climbs up out of the trench. But here is the part that makes it a marvel. That soldier never stops moving. His division marches 100 miles overnight. It is pulled out of Russia and thrown into Italy. If the mail chased a fixed place, it would arrive at an empty field. So the mail does not chase the place. It follows the number. And the number follows the man. When a unit moves, only one thing has to change. A single line in that secret directory, quietly rerouting the number to a new path. And when secrecy demanded it, the number itself was swapped for a new one. So captured letters pointed to a unit that was no longer there. Now multiply that one letter by a whole nation. Across the war, the field post is estimated to have carried something on the order of 40 billion pieces of mail. Letters and small parcels of socks, of sausage, of photographs flowing to the front and flowing back home. For an ordinary soldier, a letter cost nothing to send. The state carried it free because it understood exactly what it was carrying. It was not carrying paper. It was carrying morale, the one supply no factory on Earth could manufacture. A man who believed he was remembered would hold the line. A man who felt forgotten would not. And this is where the story turns cold. The same directory that could find any soldier could also record when he was gone. When a unit was overrun, when a man was killed, the letters still arrived, addressed to someone who could no longer answer. And so they came back. Across all those miles, the envelope returned to the very postbox it began in, only now it carried a new mark, a stamp in hard red ink. The mother's own handwriting returned to her doorstep, telling her everything before she had even opened the door. The address book that connected 8 million lives kept, in the very same ink, a ledger of their deaths. There is a strange afterlife to those numbers. Because each one was tied in the records to a real unit in a real place on a real day, that field post number became a kind of fingerprint of a man's entire war. Today, a grandchild holding a bundle of yellowed letters can carry that 5-digit number to an archive and learn the exact company he served in, the front he stood on, sometimes the very week he died. The code built to hide a soldier from the enemy is now the thing that finds him again, decades after the guns went quiet. Step back and look at what this really was. A machine of almost unbelievable order. Trains, directories, clerks, and codes, built and run inside the largest act of destruction in human history. The same nation tearing the map apart could still guide one mother's letter, unerringly, to a single freezing boy she loved. Tenderness and machinery, running on the very same rails. So, how did a letter find one soldier among 8 million? Not by knowing where he was. Almost no one did. It found him because a whole invisible system agreed, in secret, on what one small number meant. A number that said, "This man is still one of us. Send word to him. He is not lost yet." And when the same number came home stamped in red, it said the only other thing a system like that can say. He is lost now. 8 million men, one number each. And in the end, every number was really just a way of saying a name out loud, for as long as there was someone left to hear it.